Folks, welcome into SportsBookReview.com. It's Thursday afternoon, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball on the SportsBookReview.com Major League Baseball show. I'm Donnie Seymour. He's Jason Radowitz, along with Kyle Purviance. Short card today, some action in the afternoon. Last night, the Nationals made me a very happy man. The Arizona Diamondbacks made me look like a genius. I got money to spend today, boys. Let's get after it. Jason, how's it going?
It's going well. The Braves let me down last night.
They did,
of
man.
course, now they start hitting the ball against the lefty and Corbin, get 4 runs in the 6th, and now have a 4-0 lead in that game. A couple other games going on right now, so it's a new day. Let's make some money today, and we'll get back on track.
I had a couple people DM me today, Kyle, already asking, hey, any information on these early games? Said, let me wait and try to get some in-play action. I didn't place any wagers, but case in point, if you got a depressed number, and as Jason said, if you like the Atlanta Braves, you kind of got in on some really cheap numbers as they post 4 runs here late. And also keep in mind, before this inning started, the 7th inning, if you wanted the Nationals, total of 1 plus 102. We'll see how it plays out. Kyle, what's good today?
Everything's good today. I'm eating for free today too. The Dodgers took care of business nice and early, like we said. Bellinger hit that home run early, so I got to look way smarter than I actually am. So it was an excellent night last night. Appreciate the kind words in the chat box. Of course, everyone being with us. And of course, I'm happy to be here with you gentlemen, despite me still being angry with Donnie and his ridiculous LeBron Michael Jordan takes. Nonetheless, I'm still happy to be with him. I'm still happy.
I mean, I might need to do a video tonight after LeBron James and the Lakers win tonight saying, man, look at this. Unbelievable right in front of our eyes. But that's neither here for another day. And certainly tomorrow we might be able to bring that up. But how about the chat box here saying hello? Jewel Vids, I hit on the Atlanta team total over 1.5 and full game total of over 3.5 already. Great stuff. This is one of the few baseball shows that you're going to watch that tells you you have to be betting in game. It's not always about pregame wagers and how that works out. And by the 4th inning, you thought something would happen. Make your decisions in game. Be a better informed gambler. And I'm glad that we are on here 2:30 in the afternoon, where most of these early afternoon games go off, to try to show you exactly the way that we bet these games in game and see where it makes sense. Even if you did take, which I did not, the Washington team total of over 1, they would have had 9 outs against the bullpen to get 1 run. We'll see how that turns out here. Man on first base
against a bullpen, by the way, who's the 5th worst bullpen in baseball, giving up a 4.82 ERA. I mean, there's worse bets you can make in the world than betting against the 5th worst bullpen in baseball.
Exactly. You're getting like 3, and most of these things, even if it's a 4.5 number, a 5 number, and they have 6, well, they need 1 more run. 9 outs in Major League Baseball gets the bullpen to get a 1-run shot. It happens damn near, feels like 80% of the time. So just keep that in mind when you're betting Major League Baseball. Almost 100 people already watching the show. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel right here at SportsBookReview.com. 86,300 people have hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for doing that. Turn your notification bells on. Come in the chat box and say hello and say yes. You bet this team total. Yes, you bet this over. You bet this side. It's what we love in the chat box, bringing that fire. But I have to say, if you want to bring some fire on the 14th of the month, we have something special for you right here on SBR, and that is $20,000 up for grabs, and it is free. For more details, you see at the top of the chat box right there, SBR Sports Picks. Click on that link. It'll take you right to the page, show you how to sign up and get in on this. And I love the fact that maybe somebody in management was listening and said, you know what? Forget about picking sides. Let's pick runs here, Jason. Love it.
Yeah, exactly. Hits and runs and all the overs in baseball. That's what we do. And but it's funny, though, Kyle was just talking about before the show with us that he saw that there's the least amount of runs in the MLB so far this year. So it's interesting to see what's happening.
In 50 years, Jason. 50 years, the lowest scoring season in baseball. Get your heads out of your ass, guys running baseball. Good Lord. I'm saying, I got some suggestions, by the way, since we're just going to riff and probably go over on time and I'll get the hand. How about, instead of the warning track being dirt, how about that's a trampoline with a pool on the other side? So a guy can run, jump on that trampoline. Now, we might lose some home runs, but tell me you're not here for watching guys flip over the thing and land in a pool and then have to finish out the baseball game. Come on. That's fantastic. How about any time in the 9th inning, when the 9th inning comes up, you get the magic at bat, right? So you get to call up any hitter you want, no matter what is happening. So you have 7, 8, and 9 coming up. You're like, you know what? I want Mike Trout to bat in the 9th. He's going to lead off the 9th. You get the magic at bat, juiced baseballs, steroids. I say they get to play in shorts from now on, no cleats. I mean, there's lots of things I could do to fix baseball.
Now, as dumb as that sounds from Kyle here, still not as dumb as offsides in soccer, but that's another day.
That's
another
exactly
story
right.
Once again, yeah.
Offside is the worst.
Always the way to bring it back there. But we do have day baseball right now. 3 games in action as I'm looking at the big board here. Atlanta 4-0. The Tampa Bay Rays against the unhittable Garrett Cole 3-1 here, and maybe tacking on more.
Yeah. It's more. It looks like it's 5. Yeah.
Woo!
5
Here we go. Here we go. Garrett Cole no longer looking like a Cy Young candidate today. And then also Boston and Houston, which all of a sudden Houston seems to be a under type of team or an under type of environment. Interesting stuff going around. Jason, I will start with you first. Did we have any wagers or any looks here early on in Major League Baseball today?
Like I said earlier, the Braves let me down yesterday. So I like the Braves today, but I couldn't click the button because they let me down yesterday. But yeah, look, they're back now and hitting the ball. They just got to Corbin finally in the 6th inning, and it looks like they won't be looking back there. So did like the Braves, didn't put a wager on there. The Rays, Yankees, when Cole's on the mound, it's kind of hard because the Rays, they do have success against Cole. It was funny, though, G-Man Choi wasn't in the lineup today. He's had the most success, and they didn't put him in the lineup. That was really weird to me, but no wagers there. And, of course, the Red Sox and Astros also had no wagers there. But Martin Perez has been better recently. And, Odorizzi, he came back from his injury. He looked a lot better in that first start since coming back. But not really sold on him with that start because his previous starts before his injury were really, really dreadful. So I did like the Red Sox in this spot as plus money underdogs, but I didn't put any wagers on it either.
Now, a veteran move would have been for you, Jason, to say, I went live on Atlanta's team total when it was at 1.5. I also nailed Tampa Bay before this inning. That's how we get down. At least that's how Kyle gets down. Kyle,
that's what I do, yeah.
On these early afternoon games, Washington Nationals, Atlanta Braves, Rays, Yankees, Red Sox, and Astros.
I honestly did have a light sprinkle on the Braves team total because it's Corbin, and Corbin stinks, and you take those righty. So anytime you get a crappy lefty against the Braves, you take that team total. I don't give a damn what
Unless it's yesterday.
Unless it's yesterday, but of course I didn't yesterday because I was too smart and I was on the Dodgers. So I never make bad plays, only good ones. Wipe away the tapes. That's what we're gonna do here. I agree with Jason. I'm a little bit on that Boston as a slight underdog here, and I like them in the first 5 innings. We'll see what happens here. I think Odorizzi is now odorific. He's just not the same as he was a few years ago. Perez has, up and down. The righties for Houston certainly can have some success. This is a game. If it continues, we're early in the game. There's still no runs. But you get later on, you start getting one of these totals getting low. These 2 lineups can hit off anyone. So this would be where I'd be doing the Donnie RightSide, waiting to get that low value number and taking it.
No, certainly about that. And how about take a look at this? The Yankees, 1 run, 5th inning. It all makes sense. It all really makes sense. So maybe something you can climb on and see if the Yankees have like a 1.5 late in the game where it might not even be a save situation. So it's something to keep your eye on. Hugo Valencia in the chat box says, offside is good if you have played soccer. I'll tell you right now, I'm 43. I can't run anymore. I would love offsides. I would just creep up and everybody would be offsides. I don't have to run back and get the ball, Kyle. That's simple.
Yeah, you just tell the defender, hey, just be lazy as hell and be slower than the other guy. And then so the guy on offense just has to keep running slow, like, I got to slow down. It's the dumbest rule in all of sports. I don't give a damn what anybody says. It is 100%. It's worse than the pitcher batting in baseball. Oh. Offsides in soccer is absolutely god-awful. I will fight you on this.
Kyle, you know what they should do in soccer? Major League Baseball should take over soccer and de-juice the soccer ball so when you kick it only goes like 3 feet. I mean, that would be a big time improvement.
Make it a medicine ball.
Put a medicine ball out there and just, have it kick and, we could just roll it down like a rock down the field, but it is what it is. So always fun taking a poke here at soccer on the Major League Baseball show. Who would have thought that we would turn it into soccer and just ripping on each other, but that's what it is. Let's get to the main card today, see what some options that are available. 907, 908, Cincinnati and St. Louis. Gutierrez versus Wainwright in this game. First pitch, 8:15 Eastern, a 147 favorite offshore to the St. Louis Cardinals. 154 here in New Jersey. 8 across the board, depending on where you're shopping at. 8.5s as well. Jason, I'm going to start with you first in this game. Cincinnati and St. Louis here.
Yeah, Gutierrez getting another start, his second start of his career for the Reds. And, of course, we don't know enough about him to say, he's going to get lit up or, he's going to pitch well. His first start, he was good, got the loss, but it was just a 1-0 game. He did allow 10 fly balls and just 4 grounders. So just 2 hits on the day, so maybe a little bit lucky there. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Wainwright, obviously, the better pitcher, better pedigree, of course. So And Wainwright, he's been a little bit shaky throughout the season. He's had some ups and some downs, but at home lately he's been better. He's going deep, so I do think that the Cardinals are the better play in this spot, but not enough to put any money on it.
No, certainly not here. From my perspective as well, I did pass on this game a little bit later, but it was a pretty good matchup to try to take a look at, Kyle. Take a look at the two lineups here as they match up versus righties. St. Louis, not all that great tonight. Nolan Arenado at 224 as he's showing up with an ISO power number. O'Neill at 352. The rest of the lineup, not that good. Then you flip it over to Cincinnati here in this aspect. The first three batters, actually 4 out of the first 5, do have some pretty good numbers here versus right-handed pitching. Suarez 231, Winker 329, Castellanos 273, and Naquin 261. One of those games that didn't really fit my eye mold here. Do you have an advantage on any one of these batters or a side here, Kyle, in this game?
Yeah, I actually like the bats in this game, and I do agree Gutierrez didn't look terrible in his first start back in that last game. But I'll tell you what, the Reds profile really nicely against Wainwright, and they have hit him well historically in the past. If you look at the official lineup for tonight, they're 23 of 72 lifetime. That's a 319 average. If you look at his last 5 starts, here's his fantasy point totals. 1, in his last start, a -7 was absolutely bombed on by this Reds team, 25, 31, and 39, so some mediocre starts. I'm looking at a Reds team total of over 3.5 at -120. That's my favorite play of the day. It's my official play of the day, and we'll go over that later. We're looking at advantages here of 19, 5, 12, 34, 32, 40, and 47% for this lineup. And I also like a prop that's not a home run prop in this game. If you follow us on Twitter, you saw this. Tucker Barnhart for his career, 8 of 18 lifetime off of Wainwright, 5 singles, 1 double, 2 home runs. That's a 444 average. You can get him for over 1 base at -103 tonight. I think he gets a couple of hits, and if he does get 1 hit, I do think it's an extra base hit. Tucker Barnhart over 1 base. I like that Reds team total over 3.5. I would say the Reds are live dogs, but again, I never, ever trust that Reds bullpen in a full game situation. So if you're going to take the Reds, I would do it in the first 5. But for me, it's that team total and the Barnhart prop over 1 base.
Yeah, so many things to bet in Major League Baseball. Like, I sort of narrowed it down to like where team totals is really my thing, but there are so many ways to take advantage. And keep in mind, when we talk about sharp numbers and numbers that are hammered by a lot of people, still get back to only a couple years ago where there's like 3 bets you can make in Major League Baseball. And now there's like 300 bets you can take in a game. So the book can't be watching every single line. And if you learn what fits your eye correctly, you can really do some damage on some of these, total hits, total bases, home run props, all that stuff factors in. There's not only one way to make a money, the old school way, like, hey, I'm going to take the -122 on the money line. It's so much deeper than that, which you haven't seen me really say, I'm going to take a money line on a Major League Baseball team, because why put all that into chance? Zero in on what makes sense to you and fits your eye line with all of the numbers that you like. You could do some damage in Major League Baseball and certainly have some fun with it. Let's go out west. 9:45 tonight. Chicago Cubs, San Francisco Giants. Davies and DeSclafani. Jason, looking at the numbers that I like to track, to me, Zach Davies, worst pitcher here on the slate. A 138 xFIP minus, a 558 xFIP, and a 5.81 Sierra. I mean, get the gas can, light the fuse Molotov cocktail out here on the mound tonight. What are we looking at?
Yeah, look, he's not striking out any batters. Looks like in the last 30 days, he struck out just 10.8%, also walking 8.1%. So xFIP is going to be really high, of course, when you're not getting strikeouts and you're walking and balls are going to be in play. Yeah, look, Davies and DeSclafani both have struggled a little bit, especially with strikeouts. So both teams will have balls in play. Both teams should be able to score their runs. DeSclafani really hasn't been that great either. He has a 5.65 xFIP. Yeah, strikeouts a little bit higher at 19.3%, but that's still not above the average as well. His walks are 10.1%. He's also getting killed by lefties in the last 51 plate appearances. In the lineup, you'll have Jock Peterson, Rizzo, Happ, Ortega, and Sogar potentially as all lefties in the lineup as well. So I think both teams go out and score runs in this game. I think there's value on the Cubs. I think it's more of a 50-50 game. So if you can get the Cubs at plus money, I think there's value there. But both teams, again, I do think they'll score some runs.
Yep, game will be played in the low 60s, high 50s, which is normal San Francisco Giants weather for early June. That's about what you're going to see at this time of the year, Kyle. Taking a look at the lineups here, Chicago Cubs red hot here. One of those teams where we weren't really high on to start the year, but they've certainly played great baseball, buoyed by Anthony Rizzo and certainly Chris Bryant, heading out to the Bay, flying at it for a nice series with the Padres. Does that winning streak continue out here? Are there any matchups, Kyle, that you like in this game?
This one was tough for me because these are two bad pitchers. DeSclafani started out okay, but he's been absolutely dreadful since, and I simply can't trust him. If you look at the Cubs lineup tonight, they're combined 28 for 91, a 308 average. They're absolutely smashing. And, the Giants are 12 of 52 off Davies, and Davies is nothing home to write about. So when I have games like this, first of all, I think both team totals are live over 4. They're around that minus 105, minus 110 range. I think both their team totals are live. But I'm looking at a Cubs lineup that's red hot. They're a better lineup than the Giants are. Look, the Giants are a good team. They're my favorite team, but they don't have the Chris Bryants of the world and the Rizzos and the Baez's of the world in that lineup. You're getting the Cubs at plus 120 money line in the first 5 innings. I think they can come out here and hammer DeSclafani. And you mentioned Jock Peterson, 5 for 11 lifetime off DeSclafani with 3 home runs, so I don't mind a little sprinkle on that home run prop for Jock Peterson either. I'll take a little plus money play and take the underdog in the first 5 and lean the Cubs at plus 120.
And as you can tell, Esteban behind the scenes incredibly excited here for the Mets and Padres to give it a couple extra seconds to marinate on the screen for us here. So we'll get to that game right now, Jason. Talking about your New York Mets, you don't have to have the prettiest lineup or the best pitching to do some damage and get something done. Sign of a good team is you're injured. Don't make excuses. Get out there and win some games. Certainly doing that. Taijuan Walker versus Yu Darvish tonight, a heavy favorite in New Jersey, minus 172 for San Diego, 166 offshore. And as always, ever presence here, a 6.5 total, Jason. What are we thinking with your Mets?
Yeah, a 10 o'clock start. Not really what I wanted. But, either way, I do think there's value on the Mets. I think it's pretty high of a number. Look, Taijuan Walker's been really good. That Padres offense, they're going to be without Tatis. That's going to be a big difference for the Padres. So I don't really think there's going to be many runs in this game. Of course, that's what the odds makers think as well. So the game is going to be low scoring. It's going to be a close game. Because look, if you're only going to get 7 runs in a game or 6 runs in a game, the game is going to be close. There's value towards the Mets at plus 150. So you can look at that for a little bit of an underdog play. But Darvish, he's really good. It's going to be hard to hit him. Walker's been terrific as well since coming back as well. And just in the month of May, he was really good. So I don't expect much scoring. I think that the odds makers know what they're talking about when they're putting it at 6.5, and I would not take the over there.
Taking a look at this game here, Kyle, from what I like to look at pitching-wise, Yu Darvish, number 2 on the slate today, and Taijuan Walker, number 3. Both pitchers excelling. Look at the ERAs, 2.16 and 1.84, but then you slide it out here and take a look at those xFIP numbers, which aren't too bad, 3.83 and 3.84. You're in a pitcher's ballpark. The 6.5 does make sense. Is this maybe a sneaky chance? Because when you try to play it out and say, 3 here, 3 here, that's an automatic victory. But obviously in a pitcher's ballpark doesn't always play out that way.
Yeah, this one was tough for me. I guess I would lean the under overall. I want nothing to do with either one of these lines. I mean, in my player pools, I always, include Fernando Tatis because it doesn't matter who's hitting, he can hit. And Machado and the Hosmer. Sure. This has Nerfy written all over it. It's at minus 189, so it's a little steamed up, obviously. But no runs first inning makes a ton of sense here. These are 2 of the best pitchers on the card. You could argue they're, with Cole already on the mound now, you could argue they're the 2 best yet to play. So I like the no runs first inning in this game. It's on my value menu. Yes, I know it's at minus 189, and that's a bummer. So that's why it's a value menu. Just sprinkle a little bit and kind of build your bankroll, order some McNuggets. The only way I'm betting anything on this is playing the pitchers in DFS. I like both pitchers for daily fantasy purposes on DraftKings. And I like that no runs first inning at minus 189.
By the way, just taking a look at this Boston-Houston game. It's 3-0 Boston now. They did a nice aerial shot outside. Looks like a beautiful afternoon down in Houston. Who wouldn't want to go into a big cave aircraft carrier to watch a Major League Baseball game when you could be out in the elements, getting some sun, relaxing, and enjoying the atmosphere? Who would have thunk it? Baseball played outside? What are we, nuts? Must be crazier in 2021 to think that you'd want to be out in nice weather and play baseball. But that's neither here nor there on that side of it. 3-0 in that game. Atlanta still up 5-0. And taking a look here, Tampa Bay 5-1 as you just got the Yankees out of the 5th inning, which I want to do a quick check here as we have some live numbers which are locked right now. Let's see them opening up, because obviously the Yankees with 1 run, down 4 runs, entering into the 6th inning. So you're going to have 6, 7, 8, and 9, 4 at bats. And let's see. 2.5 is the Yankees number right now, and they already have 1 run. So let's just see if that number creeps down even lower, and you can get to the point which we all like to talk about, 1 run over the last 9 outs to try to scrape out at least getting a free roll into a victory. We'll see how that plays out. But let's go to the value menu here, firing on some fast food yesterday for me. Boy, you could have went and got that, major bag alert over here at Wendy's, because we were eating good in the 1st inning with the Arizona Diamondbacks easily taking down their team total yesterday. Got it within just a couple outs. That's exactly the way we planned it out. I have 2 value menu wagers today. The first one that we're going to talk about here, and this is great, because when we say scraping the bottom of the barrel, 2 teams I'm shooting for today. Number 1, the Marlins going up against Pittsburgh. Maybe some weather conditions that you might have to worry about, but Anderson, a lefty on the mound, he gets rocked by right-handed batters. And if we're taking a look at the lineup today versus left-handed pitching, the Marlins, Chisholm, 219 ISO, Marte, 261, Aguilar, 227, Cooper, 208, Duvall, 262, Alfaro, 250. Sign me up on this one. Marlins with FanDuel, 3.5. -112 right now. Looks like a decent prop for them to try to get 4 runs. My second one here, almost back-to-back games here. Another team without a lot of fanfare, the Arizona Diamondbacks today, going up against Anderson, the lefty on the mound. Look at this lineup going up against lefties. Kelly, 310. Marte, 455. Escobar, 286. Ahmed, 235. Good chance they can get the 4 runs as well. That sits at MGM at 3.5 at -135. My 2 value menu wagers here. See if we can cash in on those. Jason, take it away. Where's the value on your card tonight?
Yeah, I love that Marlins play. That was going to be one of the things I was going to mention. So I'm glad you brought that up. The Marlins, they, like you said, they have tons of righties going up in that lineup that can hit for power. Anderson's allowed 7 home runs in his last 3 starts. So a lot of power there for the Marlins with those right-handed bats, and they can definitely destroy Anderson there. But I'll go somewhere else. I'll look at the Tigers-White Sox game. Under 4 in the first 5 innings. Casey Mize and Lance Lynn going. They both had incredible Mays. I think they both allowed just 8 earned runs each in May on the entire. I think 33. It was 6 earned runs for Mize, and I think it was 6 earned runs for both players over 30 innings pitched, both in the month of May. So they were both terrific, and really I don't like the White Sox against a righty. And I don't really care for Detroit at all against anyone. So under 4 in the first 5, you could probably get that around -110. I think that's a lot. There's a lot of value there for both those pitchers.
By the way, you bring up such a good point, because the first thing you do in the morning is you don't go hard and fast on a certain game. You sort of get a feel for the card, let it sink in, dig in again, and then finalize after that. I'm scrolling down, and I see Lance Lynn's on the mound. Let me check it out. XFIP a little bit high, 4.36, Kyle. And then I look at the matchup here, and I go, this has to be an error with the numbers I'm looking at for Detroit. Is this a Major League Baseball team that I'm looking at, Kyle? It's outrageous, man. What do you got today on your value menu? Go ahead.
And they don't profile very well, so we'll start with that game, by the way. I actually have this on the value menu. And look, I do not love the White Sox versus righties. Jason is absolutely right. But I like them a whole lot more than I like the Tigers against a quality righty, I will tell you that. So I'm going to take them -0.5 in the first 5 at -130. Both lineups look a little rough. Okay, I will say that. But the Tigers are the Tigers. The White Sox, one of the best first 5-inning teams in baseball, one of the best teams in baseball. Lance Lynn, one of their best pitchers. Mize is certainly the best pitcher for Detroit. But I'll take that. I'll take a little sprinkle. Again, not my play of the day, but a little sprinkle on the value menu, -0.5 in the first 5 for the White Sox at -130. I also like that no runs first inning in that Mets-Padres game. I know it's not a great number, -189, but I think you have a really, really nice shot at that hitting. I talked about that baseball prop with Tucker Barnhart over 1 base at -103. I like that as well. And we're all here for the home run props. I know we love the home run props. How about today in that Kansas City Royals game, who I almost took a chance on with their team total against Happ today? Happ is an absolute left-handed can on the mound. Royals at home. Salvador Perez, 7 of 20 lifetime, 1 double, 2 home runs. Salvador Perez plus 300 home run prop. That's where I'm going today.
It makes sense there, too. So, I mean, when you take a look at that, Kansas City was just off of my card today. But if you're going for just a fade of a pitcher going up against right-handed bats, that is your game. Kansas City first pitch tonight, 80 degrees with only a light wind blowing. So some good hitting conditions in Kansas City. Let's flip it down here. Best bets on the Major League Baseball card today. And I do apologize to disappoint today. We took down another victory yesterday to go 19-9 on the season. And the one thing we always preach, if there is a game I really like, we are going to get after it. We're going to be excited. We are going to bet it. I don't have that on the card today, but I am still betting the Marlins and the Diamondbacks for some value. Jason, best bet and banker for you on today's card. What you got?
Yeah, it's a 3-10 game, so get those sports books out if you want to tell me. But I'm on the Rockies, minus 135 in the first 5. Again, it's a 3-10 game on the money line, minus 135 in the first 5. It's Folty on the mound. And
80
Folty,
degrees, too, in Colorado. Yeah,
but she struggled against lefties, and the Rockies have also been a lot better at home hitting the ball. If you look at the first 5, they've scored 2 more runs compared to on the road. So they're scoring over 3 runs at home and then just like 1 on the road for the last couple of games or a month. So yeah, I do like here Gomber. He's hasn't been bad at all.
No, he hasn't.
He'll struggle in like the first inning or 2. That's where you get him most. For the first time around the order, he might struggle just a little bit. But outside that, I mean, we made fun of him for his walks so many times in April. When you look at May, 37 Ks to just 4 walks in May. So he really fixed that, and he's not walking any batters. And when he's not walking batters, he's not allowing many hits in the first place. So less runners on the base in the first place. So Folty, on the other hand, Folty's he might pitch well in the first time through the order, but if you look at his numbers through the second time of the order, he's been atrocious. Over 1.000 OPS the second time around the order. And that's why I do like the Rockies in the first 5. I think the Rockies, some of those lefty bats like McMahon, like Blackman, can get to him. And it's funny, though, Blackman, he's been awful against the Folty in his career. In 19 at-bats, he has like a 100 average, but just 1 strikeout. So something's got to give there. He's putting the ball in play at least. So I do think Blackman could get the job done as well as another lefty in the lineup. But again, the Rockies, they just hit so much better at home. Going up against the Rangers, kind of their competition, kind of their like what they are. And I think they're the better team here with Gomber on the mound.
There you go. Colorado Rockies taking a look here at the Tampa Bay Yankees game, 5-1 right now. Man on first base. If we flip it down, here's an interesting way to look at it where some of the lines you say I wanted that 1.5 or 2.5. Well, basically you're getting that. The Tampa Rays here with a free roll with a man on first base and 2 outs, essentially 9 outs to go. Their team total is 6 at minus 115. So you need 1 run over 7, 8, and 9 to punch that in. They already have 5 runs and did it off of Garrett Cole. But also keep in mind, you're not going to see Aroldis Chapman in the 9th inning. This is going to be just regular bullpen guys going in to see if they can get an extra run. So a decent look there if you want to take a look. And also not counting on 7, 8, and 9, which is 9 outs. You get the free roll here still in the 6th inning with a guy on first base. Maybe you can turn that into a run right here as we go. Kyle, your best bets and bankers on the card today. What you got?
Just my one, the Reds team total over 3.5, and we went over these advantages, and I think they smash Wainwright tonight. Again, we talked about that Barnhart prop. I do have a little sprinkle of Jess Winker as well on a home run prop if you want to do that like as a third alternate behind the Salvador Perez. I actually do think McMahon for Colorado has a nice chance as well. I think that's a nice call there as well. I just like that Reds lineup tonight. I think the 3.5 runs is too short, -1. I think it's minus 125 now, so it's heading that other direction. I think people are catching on, but give me that Reds team total over 3.5. Let's go. I believe my best bets and banker record is like 34-1, my unofficial record.
That's
we haven't.
I don't think you lost.
34-1. The one loss, it was a push, but I think it was first 5, so I'll count it as a loss. 34-1 of my official plays, like the best in the world. So pretty good.
All right, quick update here again on that Yankees game. The Rays were out of the inning, 9 outs to go. You even got your odds improved here. It's still a 6 on the board, meaning the Rays need 1 run, but you're sitting at a plus 104. Not even juice now to get the 1 run and push it over. We'll see if that goes. I did not bet on that just yet because I don't know. I haven't been watching where I want to see what the lineup's coming up all the way through. But keep in mind, again, you're not going to get the best of the Yankees bullpen here down the stretch. Might be a decent wager if you guys are looking out there and have followed it a little bit stronger than I have. Bring the thunder, bring the lightning. It's time for the odds lightning round as we whip it around Major League Baseball, see if we can find some dubs out here. Quickly again, Jason, a game starting in 10 minutes. I know you like Fultonavich and Gomber, minus 134 offshore and in New Jersey, 10.5 is a total.
Yeah, well, now a couple of guys are reminding us that McMahon is not in the lineup.
Yeah, I just saw that right now.
That's what happens when you.
That's hurtful.
But no, I still like it. The Rockies should still do lots of damage against Fulte. Again, he's so bad the second time through the order. Any major league hitter can do some damage there. So I still like the Rockies there, and Gomber's been terrific. As long as he keeps those walks down like he has been in May. Like I said, 37 strikeouts, just 4 walks. And he didn't allow any more than 6 hits in any start this in May as well. So I like Gomber a lot against the Rangers and think that, of course, the Rockies can score some runs. So still on the Rockies, minus 135 in the first 5. And maybe McMahon will come in for an injured player. Maybe we can get lucky with like the washed up player batting 8th gets injured and McMahon comes in and hits a homer in the 4th inning. You never know. So, yeah, we're going with Rockies, minus 135 in the first 5. I'm still on it.
There you go, 903, 904. Miami and Pittsburgh, 2 relatively bad teams. I guess you could say Alicia Hernandez comes back versus Anderson. I actually like Hernandez better than Anderson. I do think the Marlins can win this game. And again, I think the Marlins can get to 4 runs. Kyle, quickly on this game, roughly a push across the board, minus 110s, depending on where you're shopping at. And a low total here in Pittsburgh, 7.5. Maybe a little bit of weather issues here, but not the worst case scenario. What do you think?
Yeah. It looks like it should be fine, but of all the games today, this would be the one most likely to be delayed or postponed. So just keep that in mind before betting the game. But I'm looking at this, and I agree with you. I like the Marlins, and I'm getting them minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 120. I think that's the way I would go. Look, it's not a great lineup for Miami, but Anderson is an absolute can, that word we love to use, and those righties should be able to smash. So I'll take the Marlins minus 0.5 in the first 5, and I don't hate that team total either.
Yeah, I think it should get there. 905, 906, Milwaukee versus Arizona. Duplantier, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name, versus Anderson. 176 at FanDuel, 172 offshore at Pinnacle. So a heavy favorite for Milwaukee. 9.5 across the board, which is interesting. We're expecting some runs here, Jason.
Yeah, I agree. And the Diamondbacks, they were just in a big game with tons of runs against the Mets, and that could probably happen here as well. I think both lineups project pretty well. You have Duplantier and Anderson. They both have FIPs above 5.4. Anderson with an xERA of 8.09. So Anderson's been terrible, and Duplantier really nothing special either. And I do like the Brewers lineup just a little bit more as well. So I agree with the over there. I know it went from 8.5 to 9.5, but I still like it up to 9.5.
Watching this game with Atlanta, 5-0 over Washington here now in the top of the 9th inning. It's one of those where usually it's the reverse, where I feel good that Washington hasn't scored any runs because I got them last night. But how many times do you bet this game and you're on Washington, they don't score, and tomorrow they drop an 11 spot out there? So I'm feeling good right now. Yeah, exactly. It always happens that way. 9-17, 9-18, Detroit and Chicago. The White Sox here, it's obviously going to be Lynn versus Mize. We joked about it already, Kyle. The Detroit lineup, I know we like to be contrarian, but that lineup is just trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it does not profile well at all. And quite frankly, neither does the White Sox. There's one Detroit hitter with an advantage tonight, and that is Akil Baddoo at 55%. If you're that's the projected number 9 hitter, maybe the lineup is out, and he's going to be at the bottom of the order. He's no damn good. And for the White Sox, it's not that much better, but you do have Grandal a little bit, Yoan Moncada, etc. Taking the White Sox, like I said, it's part of my value menu play. I'm going to take a minus 0.5 in the first 5, but I'm looking at a total of 8 right now. If that still holds, I will take the under 8 in this game. I'm not sure either lineup scores a lot of runs. I'm going to be sweating out that first 5. Under 8 looks good, and I like the White Sox in the first 5 innings.
Minnesota, Kansas City, 919, 920. Good hitting conditions out there. 2 lefties on the mound. Happ, who has been lit up this year, and you expect him to get lit up with the numbers he has. But check out Bubic on the season. 152 ERA, but that translates into a 4.90 CRA, which is horrendous. And that's why we sit in this game with a 9.5 total, Jason.
Yeah, I would still just go to the Royals side, look at that team total over for the Royals against Happ. They've had his number in the past. There's a lot of guys, like Kyle said, that profile well against Happ. A lot of righties in that lineup that can do damage. So I would just stick with the Royals, look at their team total, and not worry about Bubic because he's been good. But yeah, like he's kind of like another Gant. Like you just don't know what you're going to get out of him. But so far, he's been able to get through a damage. He's getting ground balls at 50%. The batting average of balls in play just at 228, and that's why he's doing well. That should probably increase, but when, can tell you, it might not be tonight.
I got to tell you, and we're talking about a game, like we're passionate about just about every baseball game, try to find some edges, but I even have to say, in the city of LA tonight, will they get one fan? Will anybody be tuned in to the Seattle Mariners and the Los Angeles Angels tonight? And also a second question for you, Kyle, compounding that. You know, like the New York area, and same thing, Jason will know this, it's usually Mets, Jets, Giants, Yankees. Do you have to have an affiliation out there as well? Like if you like the Angels, does that mean that you have to like the Clippers, or I don't know how's it work on the West Coast, by the way?
I don't know, but those people, I hate them. I cannot stand them. Like Clippers fans are the absolute worst, and especially when they got Kawhi. Oh, this is our town now. It's like you guys are like the stepson that nobody likes. You can't even make a conference final. Get the hell out of here, Clippers fans. And look, I have an affinity for the Angels. My dad was an Angels fan back when they were the California Angels.
Big A.
Of course, who didn't love that Disney movie as a kid, Angels in the outfield, and they're lifting them up and flapping their wings. That's all cute. But let me tell you this lineup absolutely stinks, and it sucks they're facing a lefty tonight because they've got one competent right-handed bat in Anthony Rendon, and then the rest of their good bats without Trout there are lefties. I don't know what the hell to do. This is a complete pass for me. I lean the under in the game. I think Canning's the better pitcher here, so if you want to do a first five and go with the Angels, I'm looking for the number. My eyes are deceiving me. You can get minus 160 on the money line or minus 0.5 at minus 110. That's probably the way I would go. But my God, these are two bad lineups and two teams I don't trust. Slightly into the Angels, but I don't love it.
No, certainly not. Taking a look here, last gasp effort if you tried to get in here on the Nationals over one from the seventh inning on. It's 2 outs, and there is a man on second base right now, but an 0-2 count. A base hit obviously would score that run. The Yankees don't do anything here in the bottom of the sixth. So we head to the seventh inning, which they're going to typically take down the team totals very quickly here. Let me see if that's a base hit. That is a base hit. So the Nationals actually scored that run. So there's that over one at plus money. Now you don't win it, but you didn't lose. You got a free roll with the guy on first base. And as Jason and I always like to talk about, as well as Kyle, defensive indifference is massive. Yeah. He can probably walk to second base. Then you might get another bloop single in this spot. Also, flipping it back to the Yankees here and the Rays, 5-1. Essentially, both teams now, 9 outs to go. You are getting 1-run numbers here. The Yankees over 2, minus 106. The Rays over 6, plus 108. So keep your eyes peeled on this stuff to see if you get some free rolls and to see if you like it. We're going to clear out the bases here, wrap it up on the show today, and give a recap of what we like. I do not have a best bet and a banker today. Hopefully, I can grab one tomorrow. We can continue our winning streak, but I do like 2 games tonight I will be betting on. That is the Marlins team total over 3.5, minus 112 at the FanDuel Sportsbook, and also the Diamondbacks over 3.5, minus 135. That's at BetMGM. Jason, take it away. What's your recap today on the wagers that you like?
Yeah, I'm on the Rockies, minus 135 in the first 5 as the official play. And, of course, that fast food on the under 4 for the Tigers and White Sox game.
And go ahead, Kyle. What you got tonight, man? Bring it.
Okay, this is always my most stressful time. I have to remember. Although I've been writing notes, so it's been getting easier for me because I can never. Like 2 minutes before this, I'm always like, "Oh shit, what did I say at the beginning that I like so much?" But now I remember. We're good. My official play of the day, my best bet, banker, whatever you want to call it. Reds team total over 3.5, minus 120. I like how they profile off of Wainwright today. On the value menu, I like the White Sox, minus 0.5 in the first 5, minus 130. Rera Murray in the chat had a great stat on Lance Lynn, 7-0-2 in his last first 5s. Like the White Sox, minus 0.5 in the first 5, minus 130. No run first inning, and that Mets-Padres game at minus 189. And the little home run prop, Perez, plus 300. Tucker Barnhart over 1 base, minus 103 for another prop as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how this Yankees team total, Yankees total, and also the Rays total hangs out here. Vivica Crystal, no offside. No, we did not diss soccer at all today. Did not bring up time anything about offside. No,
didn't we diss the shit out of it because offside sucks?
Earlier,
we did not do that. Vivica, you are correct. We are not dissing soccer. I love that name, by the way. We have Vivica not brought Crystal. Soccer up any time today. Yes, yeah. I guess it
I love that. I'm a bachelor. I love that stuff.
He does. Clear the bases. They are cleared. Rounding home as we go. Thank you guys for tuning in on a Thursday here for the Major League Baseball Show right here on SportsBookReview.com. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Full slate of Major League Baseball. Good luck on those wagers.